If you're an iPhone user and you're looking to take your photography game up to the next level, then this is the perfect video for you. My name's Stewart. They call me the MacWhisperer. And in today's lesson, I'm going to teach you how to use portrait photos and live photos to make sure you always capture the perfect shot. The iPhone is the most popular camera in the world. And with simple to use tools that are baked right into the app, it's easy to see why, provided you know how to use those tools. In today's lesson, I'm going to talk about two of my favorite tools. Portrait photos, which are those great pictures that blur your background, mimicking what professional photographers get with their expensive cameras. And live photos, which are actually a 3-second video that can help you pick the perfect frame of that video to make sure that a group shot or an action photograph looks perfect. If you stick around until the end of the video, I'm going to deliver my MacWhisperer Power Tip that will make your good pictures great. So let's hop on in and get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is portrait photos. Portrait photos can be taken right from your camera app simply by sliding over into the portrait section. They give you a nice blurred background, and you can take amazing pictures, but the magic doesn't stop there. If you open a portrait photo into the Cameras app, you can edit it, making that good picture even better. Let me show you how. Let's start by jumping into the Photos app here. From here, if you're on the Albums tab at the bottom and you scroll down, you're going to see the Media Types section. In this section, all of your portrait and live photos are automatically collected for you. Let's take a look. As we look into them, we can see all sorts of great pictures using that bokeh effect. This is a beautiful photograph of my father and my sister. And as you can see in the left corner, this is a portrait photo. But it's not a great portrait photo, partially because the background isn't really blurred out in a good enough way, and we can see these people standing behind them, and it's a little bit distracting. No problem. Let's click the Edit button in the upper right-hand corner here, just like this. That gets us into the editing screen. And from here, there's a lot of things that we can do. In the upper left-hand corner, there's two icons I want you to see. The first one allows you to change the depth setting of the portrait photo. If we look at the slider down at the bottom, we can see that that's in the middle. If we push it all the way to the right side like this, it turns off the portrait view entirely, making sure that the background is perfectly crisp and clear. And if we move further to the left, you're going to notice that it blurs the background more and more until we get all the way to the maximum setting and the background is completely blurred out, giving that nice depth perception. Already that picture is improved, but we can even make this picture better. In the upper left-hand corner, let's look at the other icon, which allows you to change the photographic style of this picture. Down at the bottom, you're going to notice some icons. The one that we're currently selected on is called Natural Light. I'm going to press on it, and from here, I can swipe over to see some of the other styles. Going one over to the right, I get Studio Light, which brightens the picture up pretty nicely. Going one more over, it gives Contour Light, which keeps that studio light, but gives a little bit of shadow to help the definition. Moving further over, we can do what's called Stage Light, which drops out the background entirely. It's not really right for this picture, but there are pictures where that looks perfect. Going one more over, we have the Stage Light Mono, which is similar to the Stage Light setting, but in black and white. And if we go over to the final setting, we have the High Key Light Mono, which allows you to take that picture and really make it pop. Now, in this particular case, I think the contour light is what looks best. So we're going to leave it on there. Just by making a couple of changes, we've taken this picture and made it even better. But there's even more that we can do with portraits. Let me click Done and show you another picture. In this picture, we see a beautiful poppy field using that same portrait effect. But the problem is, it's not quite focusing where I want it to. Let's click the Edit button and see what we can change here. From this section, we can use the slider on the bottom to adjust the focus. Wow, that just blew out all of the other poppies. Going the other direction helps a little bit more, but I want something right about in the middle. Once you've done that, you can also change the focus of what the camera is pointed at. Right now, we can see it pointed at the bottom of this poppy, but if I click beneath it, you can see it completely changes what it's focused on. I can also click on the pictures behind, allowing the ones in front to become blurred out. By using the depth setting at the bottom and changing your focus by tapping where you want the focus to be, you can easily adjust exactly how that picture looks to take that portrait photo to the next level. Now let's talk about live photos. Live photos are a 3-second video that allows you to pick the perfect shot within that video. It's perfect for group photos or action shots. Let's hop into the camera to see where that setting is. Inside the camera app, if you look in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see these circles up here. That's the live photo setting. There's 3 different settings for it. By clicking the arrow at the top of your screen here, you can open up the different choices. Down at the bottom, you'll see the live photo icon. Clicking on it allows you to turn it on to auto, which means let the camera decide when to use a live photo and when to let it be a regular photo. To the right of that, we've got live off, which makes sure you aren't accidentally taking these videos. And in the middle is the on setting, which is what I tend to leave it on most of the time. You can always take a live photo and make it a still photograph later on. But if you're taking a picture and you wish it had been a live photo, you can't change that setting after you've taken the picture. Once you've taken a live photo, if you open it into your Photos app, you can do amazing things with it. Let's take a look. I'm going to click on Photos here, and I'm going to go down to my live photo section. When you're looking at a live photo, if you press and hold on the picture, you'll see the full video with everybody trying to find their perfect shot. But maybe the shot that they selected wasn't the right one. It's easy to change it after the fact by clicking the Edit button on the top here and going into the Edit mode. From here, you'll find the live setting on the right side. If your phone is being held vertically, it'll show up on the bottom. Let's click on that live section right here. Down at the bottom, we see a selection of all the separate frames from this video. As we move through them, we can see each separate shot, as each person in the picture tries to find their perfect pose. Once you've found the pose where everyone's looking at the camera and it just seems to be perfect, click the Make Key Photo at the top here. That will set it for that picture so that when you share it, it always looks like that. It's still a live photo though, as you can see on the top. By clicking on the live setting at the top of the photo, you can make it a still photograph so it stays exactly on this frame easily. But that's not the only thing that you can do with live photos. In this picture, we see a fun photograph of my brother-in-law as he makes a flip off of a boat. Let's press on it and see what that looks like. Wow, that's a super fun picture. But the frame that it's frozen on is terrible. If I come in and click Edit, and then on the live photo down here, I can adjust it to find whatever frame I want to hold it on, making it even more fun. But in addition to being able to do that, there's another setting that you can do right from the Photos app. In the upper left-hand corner, you see that it says Live. If you click that, it gives you other options, like the loop function, which will have that picture play over and over again automatically. There's some great pictures you can take using this loop style. But there's another style too that's called the bounce. And the bounce is really fun because it goes forward and then backwards. Looks like he came right back on the boat. I wonder how he did that. In addition to the loop and the bounce, there's also something called long exposure, which is really made for specific kinds of pictures. Like if you've ever seen a picture of cars in traffic where the brake lights create these beautiful red lines, that's done by using the long exposure setting. In this case, I kind of like the bounce setting. I think it's just a little more fun. So we can leave that right there. Now in just a moment, I'm going to share with you my MacWhisperer Power Tip that's going to take the concept of portrait photos and the concept of live photos and slam them together. But before I do, if you've got comments or questions about what you've already seen, drop them down below. And if you got great value from this video, give it a thumbs up to help other people find it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, why not? Click that subscription button and that notify bell so you're always alerted when I drop new content. And with that being said, let's jump into the MacWhisperer Power Tip. Live photos are how I take the majority of my pictures to make sure I get that shot. But portrait photos just look better. So most people will take some live photos and some portrait photos. But in the most recent operating system update, Apple has allowed us to do both. When you take certain live photos with people in the picture, it will automatically capture one of the frames as a portrait shot. If you click on the Live button in the upper left-hand corner here, you'll see the option to turn portrait mode on for this picture. Let's do it. Now, as soon as I've turned that on, you can see that the background got a little blurred out. But using some of the tips from earlier in this lesson, we can make them even better. Let's click the Edit button here. From here, we can see the depth slider on the right. Let's make it a little more blurry in the background by just sliding it further down like that. Now, the subjects of the picture just seem to pop out of that background even better than they did before. Now let's click on the photographic styles here and let's adjust the lighting. It's great that it's on natural light, but I usually find that the contour lighting just makes it even better. So by using these tools, whether it's live photos or portraits, or a portrait within a live photo, you can take that picture and make it a masterpiece. That's what I've got for today's lesson, all about portrait photos and live photos. I hope you got great value out of today's lesson. My name's Dylan Stewart. They call me the MacWhisperer, and it's my passion and profession to help you get more done with your Apple products than you ever thought possible. And I will see you next time.